back to my channel. I hope you're all doing very, very well today. So if you are new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Natalie Jade. I post videos over here at least 3 times a week, but sometimes more. And I also have a vlogging channel as well, in case you haven't checked that out yet. But I hope you're all doing very, very well today. So today's video, I'm going to be reviewing, testing, swatching the Grave Misunderstanding palette from Revolution. This is from their Bride Corpse collection, and I am so excited to try this out. This is such a stunning palette, so we're going to do swatches, we're going to do a look on this, and we're just going to do an overall review on this palette. So if you guys want to see this, make sure to stick around, do not forget to like, subscribe and comment, and let's get started with today's video. So this is such a gorgeous palette. The collection was released yesterday, I believe, and this is what the palette looks like. They released a few different palettes in the collection. I believe they released 4 in total. The biggest one was retailed at £20. This had a variety of different colours, shimmers, mattes, things like that. And then they had one which was actually so pretty, and I nearly bought this just because of the packaging. This one retailed at £15, and the butterfly packaging is so cute. And then there's 2 smaller ones that both retail at £10 each, and one of these has got a bit of a blue theme, and the other one's got like more of a nude and reddy, like orange theme. So these are the palettes that they do. They've come out with like brush collections, bags, all sorts of other bits as well. But the one that I wanted to test out today is this one. It is so nice. This is the Grave Misunderstanding palette, and once we open her up, this is what it looks like on the inside. And one of the reasons I'm so obsessed with this palette already is the fact that it is like a mini Forever Flawless palette. So if you've been on my channel before, you'll know how much I love the Forever Flawless collection from Revolution. So for example, another one of their new palettes, which is their Forever Flawless Into the Night palette. This is a new one of theirs that was released this week, and it's got the metal casing, and that's what it looks like on the inside. Well, this is basically like a mini version of that, which I absolutely love because I love how protective the packaging is. I just love the overall look of it, and the pigmentation in these palettes honestly never ever disappoints. So this is what it looks like as a little overview. You've got this really nice size mirror, and then you've got 9 shades to choose from, 3 of which are shimmers and the other 6 are mattes. They are so gorgeous. You could come up with so many classy and really pretty looks from this palette. So I'll insert a few swatches now for you guys so you can see that. This is just such a gorgeous palette. So I want to get started. I'm going to go in first and do my eyelids, and I'm going to prime those with my P. Louise base in the shade 2. So I'm applying a little bit of this onto the back of my hand. And then I'm going to use a flat brush to then apply this onto my eyes. I feel like I may need to get a little bit more product for that. So this will definitely need a little bit more product, but this will do for this eye. So that is one lid done, and again onto my other one. This P. Louise base has been an absolute lifesaver. I got this for, I believe I got this for my birthday, that or Christmas last year, so either last December or last March. And it has lasted me so well, and I use this in nearly every single, if not every single eye look that I do. It just is so good. I actually bought an eye base from Beauty Bay this week, and it arrived this morning, so I got next day delivery. So I ordered it yesterday and it arrived this morning, and honestly the packaging is just so nice, and I'm so excited to actually try the product out and see if it is any good or not, because so far I'm very impressed because the packaging looks really good, the actual quality of the product looks good, but I just need to test it out. I have honestly just been loving Beauty Bay lately. I've always loved Beauty Bay, but I feel like they're so underrated as an actual brand, and not just as like selling other people's products. So now my eyes are primed and ready. We're going to go in with this palette, and there are just too many gorgeous colours in this palette to choose from. I couldn't decide if I wanted to go for like a pinky orangey colour or like more of a darker nude colour. So I think I'm going to start off with, and I'm going to go in with the shade Maggot, which is this gorgeous orange here, because I cannot resist using this. So I'm actually going to remember to zoom you guys in before I get started with the look today, which I've got to be honest, that's probably the first time I've remembered. And I'm going to go in with some of my brushes. The first one I'm going to use is this one here. This is a Real Techniques brush, and this one is actually the 307. Don't use this one as much. So all of the recent Revolution palettes have been really detailed. So they've had these kind of imprints on them Like, for example, the Harley Quinn one had a Harley one on, the Joker had the Joker theme? Yeah, the Joker had a Joker logo, Batman had a little bat on it, things like that. And these ones here have a little bone on it, which I think is so cute. And I just love palettes that have got that little bit of extra detail, like there's just a little bit more effort put into the palette. So I'm just starting off with this shade. Oh, this is gorgeous. It's a really, really nice light shade, but it's very pigmented. And a lot of more, because it's like a pastel orange, and a lot of more pastel shades are never ever pigmented. So it's really, really nice. I'm just going to run that through my crease on the other lid as well. So I'm not sure what I'm going to go with this look yet. I really wanted to do kind of like a smoky look with it. But I've got so many colours out this palette that I want to use, but I don't think I'll be able to just use them all. So again, I'm just layering up this orange because it is gorgeous, and I'm just blending that out a little bit. And again, on my other lid, I'm just building this up. That is a gorgeous colour. I thought it'd be really nice, but I didn't think it'd be as nice as this. So this is how it is looking, and I'm going to neaten it up a little bit, and I'm just going to get a clean blending brush, and I'm going to go in the shade Bone Jangles, which is this nice kind of white. It's got a little touch of like yellow, but it's mainly a white. And I'm just going to blend this into where the orange finishes and across my brow bone, just as a nice transition shade. It is really, really pretty colour though. I do really, really, really like that orange. And I'm just going to do the same thing on my other lid and just help to blend that colour out nicer. Make a bit more of a smooth transition between the colours. So now I want to go in with the shade Alfred. That's this really pretty pink up here, and I just cannot resist using this colour because it's really, really pretty. And then I'm tapping into that pink. This is with a limited edition Revolution brush, but it doesn't say an actual name for it. And then I'm just lightly buffing that around the edges. I'm going to focus on the outer corner rather than the inner corner, so it can kind of build up in colour. So that is how it is looking, and it's such a gorgeous pink. I really, really like it. Now I'm going to go in with the darker shade, which over here in this palette, and I think I'm actually going to use Black Widow, which is this one here. It's quite a reddy brown. It's really, really nice. It's quite a nice deep shade, and I'm going to use that right in my outer corner, but in the crease. And I'm just going to start to work that into my crease there. So the brush that I'm using for this is another Jaclyn Hill one. This is the JH39, again from the Morphe collection. So far, this seems to be a really, really gorgeous shade, and it's blending really nicely. It's not as dark as I thought it was, but that's kind of good because it can transition between the orange to that shade. And then I'm going to use a darker one right on the outer corner as well, which will just kind of build up even more. So I'm going to go in with the Spectrum brush there just to blend that all in a little bit better. Just to make sure that's all nice and neat. So now I'm going to go in and do the same on my other eye, and it just helps to bring the depth in and kind of warm up the colours a little bit as well. So I'm just starting to pull that through just where the crease is though. And then again, I'm going to go in with my Spectrum brush and blend that out a little bit just so it blends into the other shades. So I'm going to go in with the darkest colour in the palette now, just on the very, very outer corners, and that is called Wellington, and it's this browny nude colour here. I'm going to use the same brush as I used before, because why not? It's a really, really handy brush. So I've just tapped the excess off there, and I'm going in with that shade Wellington, and I'm just tapping a little bit through my outer corner there, and then the same thing on my other lid. Just tapping a little bit through my outer corner. So this is currently how it is looking, and this look is starting to really come together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to blend this out a little bit more, then I'm going to get my cut crease and we're going to cut the crease. Now my cut crease is done. I'm going to go in with this absolutely beautiful shade. It is this gold shimmer here, and this is called Head Waiter. It is absolutely gorgeous. So I'm just going to start applying some of this onto my lid. It is just absolutely stunning. I'll come a little bit closer so you guys can see it a little bit better, but it is a gorgeous, gorgeous shimmer. So this is how it is looking. It's such a pretty gold. I want this to be tapped onto where all the base is on my lid, so that is how it is looking currently. So I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in with my brush, and I want to blend the corners out so they're not as harsh. So I'm going to go in with the shade Black Widow, which was this nice kind of browny reddy colour. So I'm just applying it right to my outer corner there, and then starting to blend that in. So it is such a nice colour, and the pigmentation on this palette is so good. Honestly, I say this about every single Forever Flawless palette that I get, and they just never ever let me down. So I'm just blending this through. So I'm just doing it so it's almost just like it is a half cut crease. I'm just blending that darker shade into the crease about a third along. This is how it's looking. The only thing that I've noticed, the only negative of this palette so far, is that I've got some fallout around here. You can't see it on camera, but I do have some fallout over here, which is from the gold glitter. So it's not that bad, it's just a little bit of fallout. So it might be the kind of palette that you'd rather use before you put the rest of your makeup on, so you might want to do your eyes before the rest of your face. So this is just currently how it is looking though, which is such a gorgeous colour. So I'm going to go in again, and I do love the other shimmers in this palette too. I do really like them. So I'm going to take Mrs. Plum, which is this gorgeous pink shimmer. It's kind of like a camo shimmer, because this light looks a bit yellowy gold, and that light it looks a lot more deep and purple. I'm just going to gently tap the tiniest, and I mean tiniest amount, over this darkness here. Just applying a little bit on there, just because I think it is a gorgeous colour. So I'm going to go in with that beautiful orange shade here again, and again the Revolution brush. And I'm just blending that through. So this is just trying to bring any of that orange back that we could have lost through blending with other colours, with the shimmers and things like that. But I love the use of that gold over the P. Louise base, because I think it's really brightened that gold out and kind of made it pop a little bit more, because I've got the base underneath it, which is really nice. And I'm starting to really like the blend of these colours. So I'm going to take that Maggot shade again, which is such a lovely name, and then add a little bit of the Bone Jangles. I'm going to really lightly dust this around the edge of the look. There's a bit more of a transition shade, just so it's a little bit smoother. Exact same thing again for my other lid, so that they match. This is just to make the transition between the shades a little bit smoother there. Part of me was tempted to do a liner, but now I'm just not too sure. Do you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to go in with a liner anyway, because why not? So I'm going to go in with the shade Wellington for the liner, which is this really nice brown colour. And I'm going to use a nice thin brush for it. So I think I'm going to go in with this one here. This is a Real Techniques one, and it's kind of one that I like to use to stamp my eyeliner on with. It's really good. So I'm going to dip this in to the Wellington shade. So I've kind of outlined where I want my liner to be, and I'm just going to start to play. So I've dipped into that darker shade and then into the Wellington shade. And then I'm just going to try and make this a little bit thicker and play with it just until I'm happy with it, really. So it's starting to look a little bit better now, but I'm just going to play until I'm happy. So this is now how my eyes are looking, and I'll be honest, I'm a really big fan. I want to finish this look off though, and I'm going to go in with that orange and then that pink shade again, just to bring and define those colours a little bit more. We're going to go over the shimmer, and then we're going to do the mascara. So I'm now going in with that really nice brush again. This is the 307 we used earlier on. I'm getting with the orange first, just a little swipe on each side. This is just to build the colour up. And then tapping into that pink, which is called Alfred, and just blending that through a little bit more, just to add a little pop of colour. And then the Black Widow shade, which we put in the outer corner, and just really pressing that through my crease. And then again on the other eye. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that shimmer again, which is the Head Waiter one, and really get a lot of that onto my finger. And then apply that onto there. So that is how it's looking. And then exactly the same on the other lids. That's now how it's looking. and I literally have so much pigment left on my finger. It's so pigmented. I want to do something with my lower lash line though, I've decided, because I felt my lower lash line is quite bare at the moment. It's going to take the Maggot shade, which is the kind of orangey colour, and I'm just going to brush that lightly underneath my lash line, just to add a little bit more colour, and I feel like it just kind of makes the look pop a little bit more. So this is currently how it's looking, and I'll be honest, I'm a really big fan of this look. I really love all the colours in it, and I love the palette that I've used to apply my mascara, and I'm actually going to use a different one to what I would normally use. I'm going in with this one here, which is an Olivia Hale one. This is something like 99p for this mascara from Home Bargains. It's so good. And I'm just going to start to apply this to my lashes. It is so thick. It is so good though, because I don't feel like it makes my lashes clumpy at all, but it gives a lot of volume and a lot of thickness and a lot of length to your lashes. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to do my lower lash lines. I really love the gold in this look, because normally golds can be quite flaky and a lot less pigmented. Like, yeah, we've had a bit of fallout, but that is nothing major. Like, you can just see a little bit of shimmer there. There's nothing major with a bit of fallout, but a lot of them aren't that pigmented. And I think part of it will be to do because we had a good base underneath and we redid our cut crease, which really helped. But if I'm completely honest, I just think that's really good pigment, and it looks really nice. So this is now the finished look, which I love so much. I just love all the shades. They're so highly pigmented. I love how much it's kind of popped on it in a corner because of the gold being so nice. And I just love the deep and warm tones too. But this palette has been such a success. It's such a gorgeous palette. The swatches were all absolutely beautiful. And it's just honestly a perfect palette for me. It's so gorgeous. Like I said, I've struggled with a little bit of fallout, but this was only on the shimmers, but it was on all 3 of the shimmers. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you've all enjoyed this. This is now the final look, and I'm such a big fan of the palette. I think it's a great collection that they've added, and such a good addition to the Halloween part as well. So if you guys want to see more looks with this palette or more looks using other palettes from this collection, make sure you comment down below and let me know. Do not forget to like this video for more content just like this, and to subscribe too, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!